name was Frank Johnstone. Not Johnson, John Stone.
John Stone.
Make a point of saying that.
Good man.
He was third generation jockey and trainer. You know, so he had a big edge on the rest of us because it was bred into him. You know, but he was a superior horseman. He would get into a horse's mind, and he could make a horse do anything. He was just a great guy. God rest his soul. But I gotta say, that social media or something. Man, I'd like to get that out there. Best horseman I ever worked for in my life, bar none.
And he was your mentor?
Yes, sir.
Man.
Yes, sir. Taught me how to gallop, taught me about a horse, just superior horseman, you know.
And was he Canadian?
Yes, sir. Frank Johnstone. Yeah, he won a lot of races at Narragansett,
Blue Bonnets,
Rhode Island, yeah, and he was a superior rider, but they're a different rider back then, you know what I mean? They you know, I mean, big crowds at the races and mafia-controlled tracks and different things like that, but, you know, that's nothing to do with him. He was a superior horseman.
How does racing compare back then to these days right now?
Well, I think that back then the horsemen were horsemen. The trainers did all the work on the horses, and they didn't need the vets. But now the vets want to run the business, and the horsemen don't know 1/10 of what the old horsemen knew. New vets think they know more than old vets, and them old vets were the best vets in the world. They loved horse racing. That's what they lived for, was horse racing. Everyone lived for the horse back here. That's why we were here. We weren't here chasing a dollar. You know what I mean? Got guys running the business now making us look bad. You know? We're good people back here. We love horses. All my life. This man too. All his life.
Last of the breed.
Go ahead. But they call me Crash, you know, is the nickname. We all have nicknames at the barn, you know.
Where'd you get that name from, Crash?
Jim Clancy, my friend.
Jim Clancy?
My friend gave me that name. I was like, I don't know, 17 years old. You know, we had it. That doesn't matter. But he's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's not with us no more either. Jim
Worked
Clancy.
on the gate.
Worked on the gate, had his own horses, was a great guy.
Worked with him in Payson Park.
We're racetrackers is what we are. We're racetrackers. We're like carnies, but we're on the racetrack. But we're here because we love horses. If we didn't love horses, I guess we'd be in the carnival.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, man. You know, once you get with these horses, you stay with them. You know.
Oh yeah, I'm here since I was 14, 12 years old. I'm 61. I look pretty good. I look better than him. He's 61. You know what I mean?
There you go. They go to the same barber though.
Real teeth.
Hey, look, me too. Yeah, you take this hat off, you see the same thing.
Yes, there you go.
So, Tucker,
Yes.
let's know a little bit about you, man.
I've been here many years. Been here since a kid. First guy I ever worked for here was Bobby Fisher. He's been gone many years, God bless him, a great horseman back then. He was a rider. I've worked for so many people. One of my favorite guys, people don't really bring up his name, is I used to look after a lot of his horses for him at Woodbine many years ago, was Sam Dixon.
Tell them about Gilbert Searchwell too.
And Gilbert Searchwell, I win his last race with. Gilbert in the hospital right now?
Yes, he is. Yeah.
That's what I heard. I should pop by and see him on the way home. Gilbert, born in 1948, so I know he's...
Born in 1918. Okay.
Yeah. Everybody always says he's 90, but Gilbert and I know each other well. He's a great baby breaker. Best I know, I seen him on just uneducated horses, and he just takes the time with them and puts them where they need to be, where other riders don't have the patience.
You got the biggest heart of any rider you
Yes,
ever
he does.
see, man. The horse knows it. When he gets on him, the horse just says, "Okay, I'm going to do what you want," because he knows, right? He knows. Biggest heart, biggest cojones of any rider.
That's right.
I ever met. Him and Billy Wilson. Okay,
Bill Wilson. Oh, you know.
I told you guys, man, the Tucker and Crash sounds like a show about to happen.
Yeah, it's a sitcom. Yeah,
Barber.
he had a horse years ago. We run her 5 or 6 times. Remember Dorna Gordon, his wife, and Gilly used to get on the mare, and she would get beat from here to the end of the barn for bottoms. Didn't matter what distance. And you know, coming back, me running the horse, coming back, you want to say something to the trainer, but you don't, because it's really not your business to say, maybe you should give up on her or whatnot. And the last time I brought her back to the barn, I thought, boy, she's, you know, anyways, not doing well, and maybe she's just not cut out to be a racehorse. And Dorna looked at me and she says, Tuckerman, me going to try her one more time, but only this time on the grass. Brought her up to Woodbine, put her in I don't remember what it was, $62,000 allowance race or whatnot, and she smoked on the grass. We tried her here for $20,000, and she went head and head. The next start, there was only a race for $20,000 from $3,000. I said, is that my filly in front? And that was it. After that, she went to Woodbine. She bought Donna's house across the road.
Gilbert
you
said,
know,
well,
within
of
that
course
year.
he likes the grass.
You know?
I love the grass, Gilbert
And
said.
not everybody can try them on the grass, you know, or they don't, right?
The
So,
rider and the horse.
you know, but yeah, you gotta love them. They're good old school people, good horsemen, you know.
Does that make you proud when you see stuff like that happen? You take a
sure.
horse from down here and send it
Absolutely.
to Woodbine and it smoke them?
Yeah, well, you know, I don't care if you win 1,000 races or if you win one. You win, you win. It's just, I have the same heart feeling for anyone, you know. There's no discretion between anybody. It's just, we know what you're all in the same business with us together. We all know each other for years, all work together. So the understanding is there. You got to, it's not cut out for everybody. But, you know, once you get it under your nails, that's it.
What's the best horse you've been around?
The best horse I've been around? Conrad Cohen. We used to have Reddy Roadster. When I worked for, he was a train. He ran an 8-2 against Tommy worked for Sinatard. Tommy Danks. He had Great Gladiator at the same time. We'd always hook each other. But back in those days, I also worked for Art Warner, and we had a Vowel when the Fuhrer Stakes. We had Polite Lady before that. I was only a kid then. Erica Winkleman was getting on them. Just good old horse people, you know. She was great on a horse. I mean, you know, outstanding people. I've worked all in Florida, all over the States, every racetrack in Florida. You know, I worked a lot for Angel Penna, D. Wayne Lucas. I could go on and on and on, you know.
I want to ask you about the Americans versus the Canadians. Not that there's a rivalry, but I just want to ask you about the difference. If you see any difference with the horsemanship, the horse people across the border compared to Canada?
They're great horse people down there. For the most part, I'm just going to say it's stock. You know, they do have a good stock. When you're down there in Florida, you'll get horses coming from the northern states or whatnot. They like to winter in Florida because of for the weather. And so when you are down there working, you tend to work with these horses, or at least see them right with you. And they're so well bred, and so, at least from what I remember, a lot of the stock down there, they don't even look like the same breed, you know, like, so to speak, you know. I don't want to exaggerate or anything, but you'll go, wow, look at this one. You just, you know, you know, they're horse people here. We're all cut from the same cloth that way. I can't knock anybody. I'm Canadian. I worked in the States for many, many years.
Yeah, they're running out of workers here. We're all 60 years old, all senior citizens here. The States, they got a steady supply of slavery, you know, with the Spanish, you know what I mean? They work like dogs. You never seen people work like them. They live in the barn. They're great people, salt of the earth, you know what I mean? Like.
Now, does that make the industry better? Makes it continue with all the workers
I'll
involved?
tell you what. You take them Spanish workers away in the United States, that horse racing will end in one day, okay?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it'd be over.
Absolutely.
Okay? You know, here
They're
we
great
gotta
to work
rely
with.
on old guys like us, you know. thank God for the island guys. You
Yeah.
know, they're superior horsemen.
And they're
you know
great
what
workers.
I mean? They're good guys. You know, but that's the difference, I think. You know what I mean?
So I want to ask you that because for Canadians, you know, young people getting involved in this racing, how difficult is it to get those guys involved in racing now?
Oh, you can't get them off the couch away from
Yeah.
the video games. I
Yeah.
mean, this is work, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
It's
we got
old
to breed
school.
our help here. That guy's daughter's working, his son working. The only ones want to work here. You know, I mean, it's work.
In the old, I say in the old
They're
days
not
when we
brought
were
up with
kids.
animals, you know. Them
Yeah.
Spanish guys are brought up with animals. You know, they know how to take care of animals. These kids here, they're not brought up with animals. They're, you know, they're walking a freaking horse, looking at their freaking phone, man.
Once
It
you get to
drives
love
me
them,
over the
you can't get away
edge.
from them. It's just the way it
Scalping a
is.
horse, looking at their phone, they googling. How do I walk a horse?
Yeah.
Where's the 8-ball? What are they doing with their phone, man? You know,
Yeah.
get rid of that phone. You know, I mean.
It's a different age now, man.
Oh, but it's not in the States. You know, these Spanish guys, they know not to carry their freaking phone while they're walking a horse. You know, it's a different mentality. You know what I mean? We're all humans, you know.